Welcome to Tai Chi. Everybody ready? Let's warm up. Hands at your waist, turn your neck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Stretch your neck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Turn your shoulders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Expand your chest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Waist exercise, interlock, turn at the hips and waist, peek at the heel of your opposite foot, but keep your extended arms straight close to your ears. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Airplane. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Touch toe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Turn your hips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Be careful. Shift your weight to the left. Kick your right foot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Kick your butt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Turn your knees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Heisman, opening up your span, parallel feet, choose the right side, cross and sit on that side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Shift and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so golden cockerel. Golden cockerel now, remember, if you're really efficient, and I know that you all are, you can stand on one foot. But is it just a matter of standing on one foot and keeping your balance? It's not, okay? So we need to implement circles, spirals, circles and spirals, circles and spirals, circle and spirals, and counterbalancing softness at circles and spirals. Just because you know that this is going to be the counterbalance to the hand that goes up, it does not mean that this hand sits down and this hand goes up. So we're looking also at timing. So in Tai Chi, we look at it as a whole, big circle with lots of little curves and things around it to help us with our body. Our body needs to be working efficiently. So we need to create your spirals, shift your weight at the same time, push down and pull up. If we want to bring our foot higher, we don't just push down and then decide, uh-oh, I got a counterbalance. But it's all together into a unified movement, okay? So try to kick it up a notch, try to implement your spirals and your circles and your centering, okay? Golden cockerel on its left. Soften your movement, sink through. Think about where your dantian is. That is your center and focus of gravity. Kicking out. 50-50. We're going to move that center of the gravity to set it further down, shift the weight to the left. Right hand, right foot. Think it through. Follow it out. Center, tuck the elbows, create your spirals, even now. Center, tuck the elbows, counterbalance. Use your mind, keep it active, help it with the movements, last set. Okay, so good. For this session, and I think continuously, we're going to focus on 3 major elements. They're referred to as the 3 C's. C being when you come to class, when you leave class, and hopefully it'll grow on you, we need to stay or create a calmness about ourselves. Calm meaning not in a rush, but relaxed, taking in everything around us, being in a tranquil state, rather than always being in a hurry or with lots of pressure. So calmness is one. Second C is core. We want to strengthen our core. Without a powerful core, we are probably at risk for falling or being not in balance. So in Tai Chi, we want to make sure that all our movements are core related or driven by the core, the central part of our system, okay? Rather than, like we say, moving just with our arms and our wrists and our fingers. We want to use our mind, we want to use the central part of our system. So calm, core, and we want to be centered. Centered kind of overlaps with core, but center also takes another form in that you bring everything to the center. You think about, you have ideas that are central or mid-focus rather than something too extreme on either side. So think about that centering. And we do a lot of centering when we do Tai Chi to keep our balance, to keep us a little bit more steady, okay? So that could be physical as well as mental. So kicking it up a notch, okay? So every time you come, you say, what are the 3 things that we want to achieve? You run that through your mind. As you leave class, you say, what did I do to make my core stronger? How can I be centered a little bit more? And am I keeping my calmness, okay? With now Tai Chi walk, I want to be able to come forward, go to the side, and go backwards. So this is how we'll do it. We'll come forward to check everything, and then we'll go backwards in the same format. Forward, then come backwards. Then we want to go to the side, okay? So here we go. Tai Chi walk. First, creating good Tai Chi posture, hands at our waist, dropping the shoulder even though our hands are at our waist. 50-50. Good thoughts, sunken chest, tuck your butt under, relax knees, tongue on your palate. Head straight up. Here we go. Pivot out to the right. Walk in that zigzag direction with 2 hips facing that right zigzag, creating an insubstantial weight down on the right. Heel out on a L stance. Move the energy from the flat of your right foot through your leg, knee, thighs, hips, chest, shoulders down, bow stance, bow and arrow. Sit back, sit down, pivot out, walk into the left zigzag with 2 hips facing the left, heel out, move the energy round the crotch, bow stance. Sit back, sit down, twist out, walk in that zigzag, shift your weight, heel out, move the energy around your crotch, bow stance. Sit back, sit down, pivot out, walk in that zigzag, shift your weight, turn the hips and waist, flatten down, bow stance. Okay, holding our ball, sit back, sit down, pivot out, holding our ball, better balance, centering, shifting our weight, bottom hand advances, using your core to part the wild horse's mane. Sit back, sit down, pivot out, zigzag, hold the ball for better balance, center, out, move the energy, use your core to extend that right hand to part the wild horse's mane. Sit back, sit down, pivot out, walk in that direction, heel out, turn the hips and waist. How are your hands getting out there? Are you using your core? Half step forward. Sit back on the back as you watch the advancing right hand go up on the toe of your front, lift it off the ground, set it up correctly. Drop your front foot, bisect, swirl back, look back, all together, setting it up, turn the hips and waist, brushing 1. Sit back, sit down, pivot out, walk in that zigzag, setting it up, heel, use that energy, use your core to brush knee 2. Sit back, sit down, pivot out, set it up correctly, shift your weight, heel, turn the hips and waist, move that energy, bow stance. Half step forward. Sit back, rock the front onto the toe, set it up on its heel, play your lute. Dropping the shoulders, tucking the butt, weight on the back, walking backwards, Tai Chi walk through repulsing of the monkey. This is the first one that you can lead with the heel. The rest of the other three, you lead with the toe. Center the front hand, glance and look at the back hand that's higher. All together. Up, ear, toe, heel. Unzigzag the front by the ball of your foot, meet in the center. Retract back as you repulse one. Is your left hand skimming the hips of your left. Lead with the toe, so you should be on your toe, open, glance, all together. Ear, toe, heel. Pivot, unzigzag the front, retract back, Tai Chi walk backwards. Center, lead with the toe, on your toe, glance, lift, all straight back, zigzag in, zigzag straight, repulse 3. Center, higher, lead with the toe, all together. Ear, toe, heel. Zigzag, unzigzag, retract back. Hold your ball on a T stance, okay? Out with your heel, bow the legs, ward off, and pause. Then turn your hips and waist, reposition your hands. What do? You sit down, sit back, using your core. You contact a little higher up, then you push from the center. So all of this that I'm calling out, you probably know, but are you then going to ask yourself, are these little movements core related? Twist step, T stance, holding your ball, step out on an L, bow the legs, use your core to forearm, hands go for the ride, turn the hips and waist, reposition, then grasp the bird's tail. Look down, sit back. When you contact, that right hand should be a little higher, and then push out from the center. Then roll back and sit down. And spiral up and out, okay? Then you can stop and turn this way. So what I wanted to do was start in with Tai Chi walk, refreshing your mind that this is important, that the two hips have to go this way, as if I'm walking this in this direction. A lot of times what we don't want to happen and create a problem is create a physical problem, is that when you take a pivot, this hip is lazy and it remains this way. But to do it correctly, the two hips, you have two hips, need to be addressed in a zigzag as if you're walking, okay? So it's really, when you first learn or when you see people doing it, it's really, I want to say what we would consider exaggerated. But that exaggeration is the stuff that's going to keep you safe and remain healthy. But once you slough and don't do it, then that becomes a problem. Because you often hear that Tai Chi is very gentle on your joints, but if it's done wrong, it's not going to be gentle, okay? So something as small as that is very important. Then I wanted to create something where you realize that walking backwards in repulsing the monkey is Tai Chi walk. So oftentimes we just come forward and then we start in with our set and going to the left. So this time I want to start in with Yang 24, go left like we normally do, but as soon as we hit repulsing the monkey, I want to emphasize that we are actually walking backwards safely, okay? All right, good Tai Chi posture, Yang 24, dropping the shoulders, doing it the best way you know how, but also opening the mind so that you can fix up or improve and refine. Shift weight to the right, allowing the heel on the toe, lift off, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, rotate, deep breath. As you draw up that water, using your core, reverse, making your cells small, using that core. Holding your ball, using your core, out and to the side, part the wild horse's mane 1. Using the core to go up the mane. Sit back, sit down, walk in that left zigzag, hold the ball for stability and centering, part the wild horse's mane 2, making sure that hand is not just slow, but it's being core driven. Step out, zigzag, part the wild horse's mane 3. Half step, spin to the left as you watch the advancing right, up with the front at the same time, reposition your hands, white crane. Drop the front foot, tuck the elbow in, bisect your body, swirl back, look back, all together, ear and hand and heel, brush knee, 1. Sit back, sit down, walk in that left zigzag, set it up correctly, all together, brush knee, use your hips and waist, 2. Sit back, sit down, pivot out, set it up correctly, all together, turn the hips and waist, 3. Correlated, half step, sit back, rock the front, play your lute on your heel. Walking backwards safely, Tai Chi walk, repulse of the monkey. Weight on the back, center the front hand, right hand rises up higher, lead with the heel, ear, toe, heel, unzigzag the front as you meet, slide back, weight on the back, setting it up correctly. Lead with the toe, open, glance, toe, heel, unzigzag the front as you meet, retract back, weight on the back, 2, center, glance, lift, all the way back, meet, unzigzag, 3, center, lift, look, toe, heel, remodify, and 4. Remember what we modified so that we can come back to grasp the bird's tail. Let's look at grasping the bird's tail and fix it up a little bit more. Step out on an L, ward off. Then you're to pause. Take that couple seconds. Then turn the hips and waist. Then bring down the bird's tail. How? Sit down. Turn at the hips and waist to look back. Turn at the hips and waist as you contact. Turn at the hips and waist. Push the energy through from the center of your body. Separate the energy and roll back and sit down. Spiral up and then lunge forward with that remaining energy that you have in the back foot. Twist step, T stance, center with the ball, bring it in, out on an L, round the crotch. Use your core, push out, forearm, pause, 2 seconds. Turn hips and waist, reposition, sit down. Are you sitting down enough? Look back by turning back, contact and push through, separate and roll back and sit down. Energy in the back, then up, use that energy, extend out forward. Let's get to single whip, twist step, 12 o'clock. 9 o'clock, 2 things happen, flip, 3 o'clock, hook, out L, single whip. Let's do cloud hands. Sit back, sit down, pivot, cup, 3 o'clock. 12. Use your core, use your hips and waist. Hands go for the ride. You ask yourself, am I implementing my core and my mind? That's the stuff that's going to keep you calm. That's the stuff that's going to keep you strong or stronger. You're going to hook and you're going to create a T, out L, push out, energy out. Half step. Sit back, rock the front, lift the front, pat your horse. Here, hand, wrist, palms down, step out, heel. Gather the energy, center the energy, up, kick out. In, tuck the elbows, L stance. Look through your double punch. Sit back, sit down, pivot all the way around. Left hand, left foot, coming up and out. And in and hook, down, stack yourself, halfway, turn the wrists, out to the left, turn the back, turn again, up, golden cockerel. Toe, spin, hook, look, split, stack, drop, turn the wrist, turn out to the right, turn the back foot to the pivot, up, golden cockerel, heel, ball, spin, forehead turn, flip that top wrist. Sit back, pivot out, ball, out, L, spin, forehead, turn, flip the forward, top. Half step to the back, cross the hips and waist, set up the right hand, down to the bottom of the seat, one hand, two hand, then your foot, stretch out that knee, flash arms, drop the elbow, sit back, sit down, pivot, fist, deflect to the right, bring it into parry, and then to punch. Touch, open, roll back, turn the palms down as you sit down, come up, lunge forward. Apparently closed, twist, open twist, in twist, embrace, rotate on the wrist to bring the tiger closer. Now, push. How do you do this? How do you use your core? Drop the shoulders, tuck the elbows, flex the knees. Hands don't do anything but go for the ride. Up, off, down, closing forearm. Waltzing the monkey, I want to emphasize that we are actually walking backwards safely, okay? All right, good Tai Chi posture, Yang 24, dropping the shoulders, doing it the best way you know how, but also opening the mind so that you can fix up or improve and refine. Shift weight to the right, allowing the heel on the toe, lift off, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, rotate, deep breath. As you draw up that water, using your core, reverse, making your cells small, using that core. Holding your ball, using your core, out and to the side, part the wild horse's mane one. Using the core to go up the mane. Sit back, sit down, walk in that left zigzag, hold the ball for stability and centering, part the wild horse's mane two, making sure that hand is not just slow, but it's being core driven. Step out, zigzag, part the wild horse's mane, three. Half step, spin to the left as you watch the advancing right, up with the front at the same time, reposition your hands, white crane. Drop the front foot, tuck the elbow in, bisect your body, swirl back, look back, all together, ear and hand and heel, brush knee one. Sit back, sit down, walk in that left zigzag, set it up correctly, all together, brush knee, use your hips and waist two. Sit back, sit down, pivot out, set it up correctly, all together, turn the hips and waist, three. Correlated, half step, sit back, rock the front, play your lute on your heel. Walking backwards safely, Tai Chi walk, repulse of the monkey. Weight on the back, center the front hand, right hand rises up higher, lead with the heel, ear, toe, heel, unzigzag the front as you meet, slide back, weight on the back, setting it up correctly. Lead with the toe, open, glance, toe, heel, unzigzag the front as you meet, retract back, weight on the back, two, center, glance, lift, all the way back, meet, unzigzag, three, center, lift, look, toe, heel, remodify, and four. Remember what we modified so that we can come back to grasp the bird's tail. Let's look at grasping the bird's tail and fix it up a little bit more. Step out on an L, ward off. Then you're to pause, take that couple seconds. Then turn the hips and waist, then bring down the bird's tail. How? Sit down, turn at the hips and waist to look back. Turn at the hips and waist as you contact. Turn at the hips and waist, push the energy through from the center of your body. Separate the energy and roll back and sit down. Spiral up and then lunge forward with that remaining energy that you have in the back foot. Twist step, T stance, Center with the ball, bring it in, out on an L, round the crotch. Use your core, push out. Forearms, pause, 2 seconds. Turn hips and waist, reposition, sit down. Are you sitting down enough? Look back by turning back, contact and push through. Separate and roll back and sit down. Energy in the back, then up. Use that energy, extend out forward. Let's get to single whip, twist step, 12 o'clock. 9 o'clock, 2 things happen, flip. 3 o'clock, hook, out L, single whip. Let's do cloud hands. Sit back, sit down, pivot, cup, 3 o'clock. 12. Use your core, use your hips and waist. Hands go for the ride. You ask yourself, am I implementing my core? And my mind. That's the stuff that's going to keep you calm. That's the stuff that's going to keep you strong or stronger. You're going to hook and you're going to create a T. Out L, push out, energy out. Half step. Sit back, rock the front, lift the front, pat your horse. Here, hand, wrist, palms down, step out, heel. Gather the energy, center the energy, up, kick out. In, tuck the elbows, L stance. Look through your double punch. Sit back, sit down, pivot all the way around. Left hand, left foot, coming up and out. And in and hook, down, stack yourself, halfway, turn the wrists, out to the left, turn the back, turn again, up, golden cockerel. Toe, spin, hook, look, split, stack, drop, turn the wrist, turn out to the right, turn the back foot to the pivot, up, golden cockerel. Heel, ball, spin, forehead turn, flip that top wrist. Sit back, pivot out, ball, out, L, spin, forehead turn, flip the forward, top. Half step to the back, cross the hips and waist, set up the right hand, down to the bottom of the C, 1 hand, 2 hand, then your foot, stretch out that knee, flash arms, drop the elbow, sit back, sit down, pivot, fist, deflect to the right, bring it into parry, and then to punch. Touch, open, roll back, turn the palms down as you sit down, come up, lunge forward. Apparently closed, twist, open twist, in twist, embrace, rotate on the wrist to bring the tiger closer. Now push. How do you do this? How do you use your core? Drop the shoulders, tuck the elbows, flex the knees. Hands don't do anything but go for the ride. Up, off, down, closing forearm. Okay, so I don't know if with that it was maybe a good review, but the slowness always gets to everybody because it's more difficult holding your stance. But that allows me to then help you to understand what's going on or what should go on. And of course, we're emphasizing correlated. I think almost all of you can do the sequence by heart. But now it's time to then say, am I getting to my movements in the best way, in the optimal way, so that the energy that I'm using furnishes me with something very stable rather than some little part of me pulling opposite of what I want to achieve. So that's what we each have to look at and evaluate and see what our body is really doing and what the process is, whether it's smooth, it can be smoothed out and done more efficiently. So that's going to be a challenge, okay? And everybody has their responsibility to check on themselves. I can teach in a way that you can get I want to say a little bit more than an overview, but the bigger movements, the bigger muscle parts, and establish the correct direction in which to go, and maybe the formation. But beyond that, it has to be something where you can feel that your core is really initiating the moves. But that becomes a difficult part on my part. Let's pull apart different movements that I feel that you need help in. One is needle to the bottom of the sea, okay? So trying to bring up the newer students, and at that same time address the more mature students to get to a better center or understanding, okay? Bringing our standard up in both cases. In needle to the bottom of the sea, it is after we shuttle. So I'm going to take it this way first, and then of course you're not going to see my hands for needle, but we'll work on that, okay? So we had done maiden works her shuttle on the right, and then she works her shuttle on the left, works her shuttle on her left, half step to the back. Okay, watch what happens. I get this guy, this is the hand that's going to the bottom of the sea. This guy's got to swipe this way, almost like a brush knee. So I get it, set it up like this, and this front foot is pointed, and the knee is bent. I come up and I go down this way. So one hand goes down to the bottom of the sea. One hand is entirely different. All it's doing is sweeping across. So again, I'm setting myself up. Weight is on the back because I need stability to go down. I need something to obey gravity, otherwise I will fall down. But this is an insubstantial right now, okay? And we'll stay that way. So we're here, and when we go down, we lift, multitask, lift, and this goes down like this. This hand has a job just to swipe down. This hand, the top hand, goes down from an elevated down this way. Okay? So can we practice this? So I'll turn this way so that you can get the back form. Then I can turn around again and we can get what my hands are actually doing. So you're here on the toe, your weight is on the right, your left hand is sort of by just below your shoulder, as if you're going to brush knee, but not real high, okay? And this guy is like this, and you're going to go on an angle and a slant or an oblique to go down to the bottom of the sea. You don't want to go down this way. You want to go on a slant, okay? All right, so left foot on its toe, right foot holding your weight, and you're like this. Okay, here we go, all together. Lift up, down. One hand, two hands, then your foot, stretch out, and flash arms. Okay, one more time. Set your feet up first. Left hand slightly down below your shoulder. Right hand not above my head, not at my shoulder, but slightly by my ear or head, okay? So 3 things happen. Lift off the foot, then go down. Let's do it again. Set it up. Lift off, then down. Sweep down this left hand. It doesn't have to be fast, but it has its job. Just keep on doing so it's a little natural. So that right foot is really drilling down. The left toe hardly has any weight. It's that back leg that's helping us to go down. Okay, this time we're going to go down and then we're going to continue, okay? Give that right foot a little relaxation there, okay? So right foot is almost like a 45. Left is on its toe. Weight is on the back. Left hand is below your shoulder, and your right hand is on a slant or on an oblique. And 3 things happen. Ready, and lift, and down. Up, 1 hand, up, 2 hands, up the foot. Flash arms like a fan. Okay, and flash arms like a fan now. You don't want to come up this way. What you want to do is you want to remember the principles of dropping your shoulder. So this shoulder, although the hand is elevated, the shoulder is still down in comparison to where the hand is. It does not raise up, okay? Do it all together now. 45, toe, below your shoulder, setting up that top hand, all together. Lift and swipe across and go down. 1 hand, then 2 hands. We're centering ourselves, lift the foot up, heel out, start from the center, flash arms. Okay? Can I see you do it? Okay? So left foot forward, on its toe, right on a 45. Left below your shoulder, right hand on an oblique. So we don't want to extend too far. We want to remember that C word. We want to center ourselves. Yet we want to use our core. So this is how you are. We're going to come down, kind of come up, and then we're going to come out. Okay? Everything core related. So I think what I can do is show you on an angle that when we set up correctly, we do things like this. This way, and this way. So you saw that when this guy came up, I was in the center, and then when I advanced forward, then this heel went out, but then this started to flare out, flash arms like a fan. So all of that, okay? So yes, I jumped to an advanced movement, but it is to show that movements from all of the 24, of all Yang style, of all Tai Chi, emanates from the core. And what do you have to do to center? And what do you have to do to keep that calmness? You're not fighting against another contrary or counter movement, but everything is done in a whole. So that's the I guess the premise in which I wanted to establish, so that when we cover our 14 more weeks, we are then looking at the whole and how efficiently our body is moving.
This class is sort of got surprisingly big. Lucille and I didn't quite know who's going to show up for the 24, and everybody left from the 16, and nobody was here, and I was sort of scratching my head. I said, wow. And then you all came. So that's gratifying to us. But what I want to do is go through a little bit of what Lucille said and incorporate a feeling of circular movements and circulating, using the core, using your shoulders, trying to center. We start off having done the golden cockerel, and what we'll do is, let's see, the second here, down here, up, and then up, up, and then the maiden. Again, you're down here. Remember your spiral. Remember your spiral. This is going to be half step. This is a spiral. So when you come up here, try not to be artificially up here. Spiral. The spiral. Whether you go up high, whether you go just, some people will go low, but it's this boom. And this is spiraling along. It's coming with you. Spiraling down, okay? Block. Comes up, doesn't stop here and then decides to do this. It's coming from here. The power is emanating from your core. From down here, substantial. Winding it up, turning the shoulder up, drop the shoulder, drop the elbow. Okay? So, again, try to not think about, well, just here and then here. It starts. Okay? And it's not two hands come down. This hand is slightly ahead of the other. Here, block, block, block. That's what you want to be ending up doing. And from here, sit back. Yep. Coming from the core again. Coming from down here, core comes up, come here. I'm exaggerating, but it's all coming from here, gets up here, the twist of the torso, and you're dropping your shoulders, drop your elbow, the power comes from. You say, I just got to be block here, or I'm going to thrust here. Yeah, came from here. So all of the things that you do, just try to, in thinking about centering, you want to bring everything out, you want to bring everything back in. A lot of things have to do with the spiraling and circling of Tai Chi. Okay? Out, in, up, out, you're going to kick. And I've already, when I come down, my legs are already cranking up by dropping my power into my legs, making use of gravity, because it's like winding up the spring. When you're doing the kick here, this is ready to go. And when it's coming back up, it comes up, and it helps you bring everything up, and then out. And then when you come back down, circle again. Come up, up, and out. Bring it back down. So remember, in the concept, dropping the shoulder, drop the elbow, helps you with your spiral. Your spiral helps you to center. And you work with getting everything back to your center and get your core ready to go, only to come back out again.
Yeah. So Pat's question is, when you're coming down for the needle of the bottom to see, you know that this arm is, she's asking if it comes down this way. This is probably a little bit more extreme than what she's asking, but what you have to remember is that this arm comes down this way, to the center. So let me just kind of show you on a slant here, okay? And this is, you don't have to really get it, but just try to follow me, okay? So we're here, and yes, definitely because this is abbreviated, you're not going to see the spirals, but to get to this movement, there are definite spirals. But when we do this, it's sort of like coming off the top and then coming down, but not down this way, but coming up and going on a slant. So if I could recreate that as something like this, rather than something like this, which you don't want, okay? Because this is going to go down. So you want to keep your spine as straight as possible and go down. But at the same time now, I think I originally taught this where you extend the knee. When you extend this knee in this situation, actually this is, I've seen it both ways, but I think in being a little bit more clear, I'm going to let you relax this knee so it comes over the top and then it comes down. So when I'm looking at trying to clarify Pat's thing and say the center line for the tile is right here, which is in my center of my body, I find that it's coming near the center, but not really on that line, but in the direction of the center, rather than the extreme of the right. So you can try that out. But here again, everybody's built differently. Everybody, you know, their center of gravity is their center of gravity. So whatever I do should look similar to yours, but in a broader sense, and that's fine. So we like to refine, and we're working towards refinement, but it grows on us, okay? And the refinement is not just dependent on where we put it, but everything else. Where is that weight? Where are you setting up your center of gravity? And is your spine erect? And at what tempo or fastness or slowness are you coming down? That's all factored in, okay? So good question, gives us an opportunity to fix up our teaching or strategize a little bit more. Okay, so that's good. Anything else? Okay, so don't hesitate to stop. All right, Yang 24. Here we go. Good Tai Chi posture. Going through the spine, dropping the shoulders, tucking the butt, hollowing the chest, relax knees, positive thoughts, tongue on our palate, head straight up. Commencing form, shift weight, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, open, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, rotate, deep breath, diaphragmatic breathing, not just shallow lung, reverse, push down, use your core, round out your ball on a T, create your spirals out into the side, part the wild horse's mane, use your core. 1, sit back, twist out, center with the ball, walk in that direction, heel, round the crotch, core related. 2, sit back, twist out, walk in that same direction, center with the ball, heel, round the crotch, core related, final parting of the wild horse's mane. Half step, hold the ball for better centering, advance the right hand as you watch, lift the left on its toe, white crane. Pause, drop, tuck, bisect, swirl back, create your spirals, all together set it up, brush knee 1. Sit back, twist out, walk in that direction, spiral and multitask 2. Sit back, twist out, spiral and 3 and final. Half step, sit back, rock the front, lay your lute on the heel. Center, glance higher, lead with the heel, all together, ear and toe as we repulse 1. Center, lead with the toe, glance, lift, all together, reach out, and swivel 3. Center, higher, glance, this is 3, and 3. Center, glance, lead with the toe, optimal position, so it's just flowing 4. Hold your ball, create your spirals on a T, time it right, out and to the side, use your core to forearm. Pause, turn hips and waist, use your core to bring down. Sit back, turn at the hips and waist. Contact, turn at the hips and waist, push that energy that's stored, separate and roll back and sit down. Building that energy, then up, then extend out. Twist, round out, T, round in, out, fold the legs, forearm using the core, turn, grasp the bird's tail, contact, turn, use the core to push, separate and sit down, then come up, power out. Sit down, sit back, twist, 12 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 12 o'clock, T, hook 3, out L, 9 o'clock. Sit back, 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, cloud hands, hips and waist, hands go for the ride. Get your calmness. Use your body efficiently. Get into an optimal position 3. Hook, T, out, push, out. Half step. Sit back, rock, up, iPad. Cross, step out, palms down. Gather the energy, center the energy up, and follow out. In, gently on an L stance, tuck the elbows, double punch. Sit back, open the hands, twist round, left hand out, left foot out. In, hook, stack yourself down, turn the wrist like a snake, pivot out to the left, just the back foot, pivot out again, up, golden cock roll. Toe, spin, hook, split, stack, turn the wrist, veer to the right, adjust the back foot, step out, golden cock roll, heel, hold your ball, heel, round to the forehead, then twist, flip the upper hand, sit back, sit down, pivot out, hold your ball, spin the ball, forehead, turn, flip, shuttle left. Half step to the back, cross the hips and waist, then down, up, 2 hands, foot, extend a knee, start in the middle, flash arms. Sit back, sit down, twist, fist, heel deflect, bring it in to parry, and then to punch. Touch, open, roll back, turn the palms down to sit down, push up and out. Apparently close, twist, open, in, embrace, rotate on the wrist, bring him up, in, push out. How do you tuck your elbow? Tuck your elbow, drop the shoulders, flex the knees, let gravity take you back home. Said I wanted to give you an example of what I want to cover in a way of calmness, core, and centering. Okay?